there's just this thing. He has his signature running style, bro. Just show him from behind. Don't show his face. We'll know who that is.
Oh yeah.
His running style. There was it the explosion when he exploded the aquarium?
Yeah.
And he was running with water. I was like, that was
off.
when he was taking out. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see
Dude
him.
is fast.
Oh my god. It was so cool to see him running like that. If in real life,
What do you mean in real life?
if in real life we have like a fast superhero, like that's top. Like he was running so fast.
Hey guys, welcome back to Povcorn Podcast, where we give you an unfiltered point of view on all things movies, series, and anime. I'm your host, Michael, and I'm here as per usual with my co-host,
Chris.
This is season 2, and for our first episode, because Mission Impossible 7 will be coming out
Yes.
in 6 weeks, we decided, might as well watch some Mission Impossible, kick it off. So this episode we're going to be covering MI1, and let's kick it off quickly. I mean, this movie, I don't know, it has its charms. Honestly, I found it funny.
I found it funny. Maybe it's because we are watching it now. In contrast to the time it was made.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, man. It's like seeing this again. It's kind of unbelievable how different, like how far the Mission Impossible franchise has come.
would I say they were working with what they had, or they did not try as much?
Maybe.
I don't know a movie we can use to compare, timelines to see.
I have a few movies. So, like you were talking about the hacking. We were talking about this before you came, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The use of the computer is ridiculous. But there was a movie that came out, I think in 1995 or 1993, Hackers.
Yeah.
That too is ridiculous, but at least it was good enough for its time. That movie is a classic, man.
Yeah.
It's a freaking classic. But I mean, imagine they bring the greatest hacker on the planet and he's like jam signal.
Is it that good that he has his own, programming language where he just,
It's not even the programming language. It's like
he just drops strings and he's like, you know what?
Like, hey Siri, jam signal. It's crazy. From 1996 till when was the last one? Probably 2 years away from now, maybe 2021. It's crazy just how far it's gone. But did you notice how most of the stuff we still have today was actually from this movie? The masks, the whole this mission is yours if you do wish to accept it. It's such a thing to be dedicated to, man.
I like the soundtrack
Of this?
Dum 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 dum.
It's crazy, man.
The thing is, I've never been like a diehard fan of Mission Impossible. Whenever it comes out, I'll just watch it, passively. I'm like, oh, nice action. I never really just watched it, and pay attention the way it is. So now watching it again, for me, it's almost like it's the first time. So I don't even have a lot of information as I am supposed to have or I should have.
Yeah.
But then I'm just gonna watch it and I'm just gonna enjoy myself and I'm just gonna talk about the things. Like the first thing I told you when I was watching, I was like, guy, you know how they were transferring they're transferring data. I was like, floppy disk, okay, it's fine, man. It's fine. Flash drives were not made until 1999 or the 2000s and all. But then it was just funny to watch. And then you're like, yo, the guy's commands while he's hacking, he's plain ink.
It's just plain.
It's plain. It just tells the computer what to do. Obviously, that's what you should do. When you're supposed to tell the computer what to do, and he
but
does.
Not that way. That's like you're talking to your wife. It's like, baby, jam signal. What the heck?
When you mentioned, I was still watching at that point. I was like, I didn't even notice it. And then that was the moment where they were in the train. And he was there about to jam signal. I was like, and when he just stepped, I was like, no way.
Tom Cruise did it on earlier in the movie. He wanted to access the internet, and he was like, internet access. Oh my god! And the browser popped up. Then he was like, use net. I'm like, God.
Oh, is it that they're just trying to make it that way for the organization, the IMF? Like, is that just why it's like that? If you see the way the UI was, you would just see. I'm just like,
I feel they didn't have like a tech person for the movie, and they just wanted to like, because it's actually based on a TV series. Apparently, they probably wanted to get the movie out there as soon as possible. And honestly, it's a fair way
movie,
to do it. It's a very
it's actually
good way.
a good movie. Yeah,
yeah, it's a good movie. It has its charms, but that jam signal, Usenet, internet access stuff, I feel it's actually a good way to pass along the message. You know,
it would be easier for everybody to understand what they're doing.
exactly.
You don't even need competence porn to actually like. You don't need to feel any of that. You just like know that this is what's happening because that's what they're saying.
Yeah, just go with it. Just go with the flow.
Oh my god,
A very charming movie, and I don't know. I really loved Cruz's performance in this movie. From the beginning, I wasn't noticing him until he made that comment about the coffee. Did you notice? I don't know if they did that intentionally.
So you would first, the way it starts off, it seems like he's not even the main character.
Yeah,
That's the way it starts off. Do you understand? But saying that we are in 2023, you know who Tom Cruise is. You definitely know that he's the guy.
He's the guy.
So I did not feel that way, but I already knew what was going on, but I knew it felt for me like he wasn't the main character. Like he was
That's
just part of
actually what I'm
the.
referring to.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice him there. I was looking at Jim. I was looking at the other women, and they were the ones speaking. And then from nowhere, he just made the crack about the coffee, and it's like he was in the shadow, and just that line made him come out into the light. So I'm like, God damn, it was pretty good. We have Tom loses his entire team.
Oh man, it was sad.
Yeah, it was sad, honestly. They actually made us feel that raw emotion of losing your entire team, the wiping them out.
It was all fun and games until you just switched up like this.
Yeah.
Man, like at that moment, you're supposed to go crazy. I don't even know how someone can be articulate at that point and start thinking of his next move. Honestly. Like at that moment, you're like, what the hell just happened? You will not really know what to do. But somehow he was able to just compose himself, get himself together, start figuring out his next move and all. I think obviously that those are characteristics of a spy and all, which is good.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, but it's just like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The way he had some quick initiative and just his whole organization turning against him, and the fact that the mission was actually a mole hunt mission is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. So they sacrificed 5 people
just to get one person.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Freaking crazy. The IMF is insane. Well, yeah. Who do you think carried this movie? I mean, obviously
is that even a question?
Obviously, it's Tom Cruise, man. But what really struck about this movie is just the way, like I said, them taking stuff that was in the first movie and still dragging it on until this latest movie. Like the masks.
It's like where it's like what I feel the Fast franchise should have done. They should have found a way to maintain that sort of in touch, down to earth vibe.
Yeah.
They have some ridiculous things going on in. I've not seen the other parts. I can't really remember of Mission Impossible from this very first part.
Yeah.
It has that little down to earth vibe, even though some things might be ridiculous, like how are they actually supposed to happen there. But then you can still feel that it has this possibility to it. And I think I'm going into it with the feeling that I know that he's the one, Tom Cruise is the one doing most of his stunts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, it has this believability to it, So which is, in my opinion, does it for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be watching it and be like, this is ridiculous. Like, this shit not even happen.
Yeah.
When I know that something is ridiculous, I would just...
I would
just take it. Yeah, for now, I would see it and I'll just take it in. I'll be like, okay, he's doing his stunts himself.
Tom Cruise.
Which is nice in my opinion. So... I don't know. I feel the Fast X would have learned from. I'm not going to say learned to taking, but everybody has their own path they're gonna follow.
It's crazy, right? The masks are still a thing, and they got better. So instead of like regular rubber masks, like
they have the way they now.
Now they have the chip that does the mask.
That makes sense.
And
it shows the growth
Exactly.
which is believable. You get, and I'm very sure now they're not sending string commands like, hack the satellites or jam the signal. I'm very sure now it's making more sense, in the realm of believability. So
Definitely. The stunts as well. So I don't know if the stunts in this movie were real. Him hanging off the train,
Yeah,
like
it's not like he's gonna be like in real. It's gonna be green screen. Like that was green screen. Like I could see it. The helicopter, all of that was just like massive green screen. It was just very obvious. I could see that. I know, but he still probably would be the one doing all of those things. But it's not like he's doing it real.
Yeah.
But he's doing it.
Like I imagine him on like a high speed train, hanging on for his dear life while an helicopter behind him. But it seems like something he'd do though.
Yeah, obviously he was so young there, like so young. So he has all the energy for all of that stuff.
So where did the switch happen for him to go from maybe we don't know, but maybe this was green screen? Where did that switch go from there to him jumping off a freaking cliff now?
I don't know, he just felt that it would be a much more natural shot for most of those things. I think he's putting a lot into making the movies, and kudos to him, because it's not something a lot of artists, like a lot of actors or artists, they do. They so reliant on green screen, which is okay, which is normal, do it well, beautiful, let's just enjoy ourselves, let's watch it, like, yeah, it's good. But when you find someone who is going way beyond what we are expecting, like, that's just class, and that's stellar, and it's amazing, and well done. But there's just this thing. He has his signature running style, bro. Just show him from behind. Don't show his face. We'll know who that is.
Oh yeah.
His running style. There was was it the explosion when he exploded the aquarium?
Yeah.
And he was running with water. I was like, that was
off.
When it was taken. I was like, this is so cool. Yeah. It was so cool to see him.
Dude is fast.
Oh my god. It was so cool to see him running like that. He if in real life.
What do you mean in real life?
If in real life we have like a fast superhero, like that's Tom, like he was running so fast, and you just see the way that scene was beautiful.
Yeah,
for me, I just the way he was running out, like with the water and everything. We just,
those scenes are two separate scenes. Yeah, so the aquarium was shot at Paramount Studios, and then they cut to Prague, where Tom was running the water behind him. They're two separate scenes.
That's crazy.
I know what you mean, man. And it keeps getting better and better. I think there's a movie where he's running through France or something. Dude is so fast for no reason. How does he do it? I need to know. And he's going to run again in Dead Reckoning. And he's like, 60 something. And dude would outtake me if we went on a sprint. Stop it. Like, for real. I mean, Tom Cruise was actually sought after for playing Tony Stark. Imagine seeing Tony Stark running that way, like Tom Cruise in the Iron Man suit, like that would be wild. That would be sick. You got notes for this, right?
Nah, not as much.
Not as much. Yeah,
I was just enjoying myself. It was fun to watch.
Same, man.
It was fun to watch. Generally, just watched it, enjoyed it. Maybe in the following ones would have more notes. I didn't even find anything that could like quotes that was deep. In my opinion.
I do have quotes.
Grand.
I have quotes, man. Let me just.
Yeah, it was just like, it was high stakes, spy being set up, a lot of backstabbing,
He couldn't trust anyone, especially that dude's wife. I mean, rightly so, though.
Yeah, only one person who actually trusts, and he was right.
Your boss betrays you that way. Come on.
Yeah, it's wild. He clocked it. He clocked it at some point. He was like, nah. And then his boss comes back and, and it's just like giving him this gist. And I love that scene.
Yes, that scene was epic.
I love that scene because he was playing it in his head, but he was playing it with the right person, the right culprit. And his boss just thought he was,
He's too calm, man.
Did you get?
No exchange on his face could have given him away.
In his opinion, it was just like, yeah, I'm lying to him and he's eating it up. He was just like, and then at this point, and then at this point. But in his mind, I love that they were showing us what was going on in his mind. I loved it. If they had not shown us what was going on in his mind, we would have thought he was eating it up, like everything he was saying. That was
but
beautiful.
That is so 90s though. I don't think no one would ever do that type of scene today. I don't think so. But Maybe.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it in a while, but that's such an old movie trick.
But it's actually very good that it was done that way.
It was done very well. I think it's because we know that it's 1996 that we're accepting it. But man, imagine you saw that in like Dude Part 2. It's like, oh, and he did that, and they're playing. It would look weird nowadays.
True. But it did not look weird in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
it felt so part of it.
I was like, oh shit, that's how it happened.
Yeah,
that's how
it wasn't off. Honestly,
there aren't really a lot of actors like Tom Cruise nowadays. Even if I wanted to think of someone, it's like Keanu Reeves, maybe Denzel. Like, but what I mean by that is someone who does his own stunts at the age that they're at.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. How many of them?
Yeah, it's just Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves. That's pretty much it.
Keanu Reeves does his stunts.
He like all the action fights and stuff, like giving that much dedication to learning that stuff.
Yeah,
you know, the car crashes, the fight scenes, all the judo and whatnot. And Tom Cruise climbing the freaking Burj Khalifa. And now he's hopping off cliffs 6 times, man, to get the right scene down.
That's wild.
That's freaking wild.
I think that sometimes he even gets injured that they have to pause for a bit.
Yeah.
Acting.
He got injured in
there was one time he was running, and that's when he got injured was part of the movie.
Yeah,
he made it very real. Yeah? Oh my god.
Oh man, wow. He's insane. That realisticness to it. That's why I have some nice quotes from the movie though.
Yeah, let's go.
Ethan Hunt. So how does it feel to be a solid citizen again? And Luthor is like, man, I don't know. I'm going to miss being disreputable. When he said that, I was like, come on. And then, remember the time he was explaining, I always love scenes like that when it's time to do a heist and you're kind of running through, the whole thing, the whole method for doing it. And then he was like, relax, Luthor. It's much worse than you think. Luthor was already having doubts, And then it's like, it's much worse than you think. I was like, that's classic line. Another one by Luthor as well. There was never any physical evidence. I had anything to do with that obsessional piece of work. I'm not an actor, so I can't deliver it the same way he did.
Yeah.
But it was nice. Speaking about Luthor, do you know he was casted because the director, Brian, I believe, he casted Vin Rames because he wanted someone that's the exact opposite of what a hacker would look like.
It worked.
It freaking worked, man. Imagine a jacked dude.
It worked so well.
Yeah.
Like I noticed. I don't know that, like that point you just made, yeah? I did not even know. But then, when I was there, I was like, is this him?
It can't be a hacker.
This can't be him,
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Worked so well.
It did.
And that just goes that sometimes stereotyping is not even supposed to, like, anybody can do anything.
Yeah.
It can be anybody.
It's ridiculous, man. And it actually paid off, and he's still in the movies till now, right? Another quote, this is the Mount Everest of hacks. Don't you just love it when they say this hack is like ridiculously high? I don't think there's a greater hacking line than this. There's like, what? This is the Mount Everest of hacks.
Yeah.
How do you get farther?
A very good way to actually explain
it.
Yeah.
Instead of saying the NSA has 6 walls of heavy encryption,
you need to this big amount of computing power to do this. You need to get this particular computer. You need to go into the server and plug into the mainframe, and you need to. They will just go and say all of those shit.
And then at the end of the day, dude would be like, I'm in.
Like, oh no, like the person that is trying to the security guy. And you're like, he's so good, but I'm better. I mean,
it's almost like a computer game. It's like, oh no, you didn't. I know you just bypassed my.
Then you're like, oh,
now cool firewalls.
Now
you
you think you can beat me? Don't worry, I've got something for you.
Damn it, he got through. Oh, God, no man.
It's kind of almost cliche at this point. It's almost the same thing all the time.
It is one. I think the most realistic hacking scene was from this series, Castle Hill? Something like that, but it was super realistic.
Yeah.
It was still kind of dumbed down in a way, but it was super nice. The last quote I have is from Kittredge. I want him manning the radar tower in Alaska by the end of the day. Just me his clothes. Like, that dude is messed up for life. He's lost his career. Send him to the North Pole.
That's wild.
It's crazy, man. There's something else that I saw while filming the famous scene where Tom Cruise drops from the ceiling and hovers, right? That scene. He kept hitting the ground with his face.
Where he was supposed to, what was his name? The other guy almost dropped him off, yeah?
Yeah, I know him as Leon from
The
Professional.
When the rat was when he had to attend to the rat and
attend to the rat.
Yeah, when he had
such a thing.
So then he had almost dropped him off, so he hit his face.
He was always hitting his face on the floor
until he finally got the right one.
He got the idea to put coins in his shoe to balance him out. What the hell? Yeah, that. I mean, Tom Cruise, man, is freaking. I don't know. Is that dude an alien or something?
What the hell?
Yeah, it's
wild.
Super. And I love the scene with the CD disappearing trick. He actually did that. Actually learned that for the role. This is the.
But that was a wild scene, yo.
It was, man. It was pretty good.
That was a wild scene.
It's the best scene in the movie.
Who would have thought?
No one.
It's something where you know at the back of your mind that this is how humans work, and you know that if you do it this way, he's gonna drop the disc, and he actually did drop it.
Yeah.
What are the odds that he did not even just go get angry and just destroy it?
Yeah. But do you know what also sells that scene more? After he does the whole sleight of hand thing and Leon drops the CD, he doesn't go to pick it immediately. So I was like, maybe he actually has it, But then after the whole, the wife kissing him and stuff, he then went back and I'm like, oh my God, I was right.
Do you know why? Right. Do you know why I like it too, yeah? Because I was wondering when he did the switch.
When he did it, right?
I knew he came with 2 CDs. I saw him I knew. At that point, I was like, when did he do the switch?
Yeah, they didn't show it to us.
Is that they did not show it to us? And I love the fact that they did it this way and not do, I switched it at this point and all of that. Then they will not take it back and replay when he switched it.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, I was like, there was no time for that.
No time.
There wouldn't have been any time. It wasn't in his mouth, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So there was no time. So I like the fact that they did not do any, he switched it then. They were not play it back to when it was falling, he threw it in the air and cut it with his back or something.
That's such a modern movie thing, man.
That would be so funny, just straight and just catch it somewhere with your back and put it inside and then put the other one in your mouth. Nah.
It was well done. It's such a nice. That's my best thing from this movie. It's so good. It has its charms, man. Forget has its charms. Not only is this movie the only film in the franchise where Ethan Hunt doesn't fire a gun, it's the only movie in the franchise to not have any gunfights or shootouts. Did you notice?
Now that you're pointing it out, yeah.
I
you see, that's how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you distracted from all of the things that you're normally supposed to expect.
Yeah. Yeah. Subverts us.
They use the guns, yes, for that shot. And when he shot
the wife,
when Voight shot his wife and everything. But there wasn't any gunfight where you have to and all of that stuff. There was none of that. And it distracts you with the important stuff.
Yeah.
Which is very, very significant. I like it.
It was so good, man. It was freaking good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for the movie. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's a good. I feel with us watching the next movies, we'll probably be building up on stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and we might.
that's
This is
part one.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably be like, oh, this happened in part one that made this very relevant, and we'll see stuff, or we might just go with each of them and just point out the important things that we think were cool and all.
Yeah, I'm like
who
a
knows?
big mega MI episode at the end. Be like, did you know? That was stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, that's it for me as well. But before I go, I have to leave you with one thing.
Yeah.
Watch Ted Lasso. Watch Succession. That's all I can say.
That's all you can say.
Both of them those shows are done now. Mm-hmm. Watch them. Oh, and watch A Small Light. Beautiful shows. Beautiful shows.
I'll take note of those.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of those.
Those can be the weekend watch for this weekend for everybody that wants to really. Those 3.
Epic.
They're all done. So it's not something you have to wait for like a new season. So you'll be able to watch it and enjoy yourself. Binge watch it. Like, I'm envious of you who haven't watched it so much. I'm envious.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Succession. You haven't seen Ted Lasso. I'm envious. Like, oh my God. You're going to love it.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
My guy was telling me to watch it like way back when it started. Ted Lasso season 1. But
Ted Lasso is
like,
so beautiful. Oh, it's so real. It's just one of those things that give you this feel good feeling. But then it has so many deep stuff, so much meaning to it that while you're watching it, I did not want it to end. I knew it was the final season. But then this final episode, I was like, no, do not end. Give us another season, please.
One more.
Please. And I'm very sure if you give us another season, we want more. Like, it's just something that, shouldn't have ended.
End someday, man.
But no, not now. I've been seasons, 3 seasons. Like, give us more, like 5, 6, 7, you know?
Hopefully you get a spin-off.
The spin-off won't be the same.
Yeah.
If, these characters are not there anymore. But obviously, I understand that, it has to come to an end and it's fine. But yeah, I just had to say that. Like, I have to find somewhere to put it in and it just came to mind now.
Yeah.
Watch those movies, bro. You should watch it. Those watching this, watch them. And when you do, let us know how you feel. What's your point of view? My point of view is it's amazing. They are amazing. What's your point of view?
They're all 9s, right?
They're all
9+.
Oh, Lord, they're all 9s.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all 9s.
That's epic.
I think Ted Lasso is a 9 point something. Succession the same in IMDb, and I think A Small Light is like a 98 or so on Rotten Tomatoes. It's even 100. It just this movie recently is 100.
Definitely going to see those, man. It's a Small Light, the mini series based.
Yeah.
Okay, the British mini series, right?
Yeah.
The British act, man. Freaking out. Yeah, it's 100% certified fresh.
100% certified fresh.
That's it from us today. Do all the fun stuff, like this video, subscribe while you're at it. Drop a comment for us here on YouTube at the Povcorn Podcast or on Instagram at pov.crn, which is pov.con. We'd love to see you on that side and down below in the comments on this video. So thank you for enjoying this show, if you did, as much as we enjoyed making it. This is us signing out, and this is just the start of season 2, so expect a lot more good stuff. Peace.
Catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.